I've got quite a book haul on my hands. Should I start with my current read? It's the one that I'm perhaps the most excited about. The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovalino. It is a high fantasy, and it feels like it's gonna give me historical fiction meets fantasy energy, which I'm all here for. I'm only a couple pages in, maybe 20 or so. Love, loyalty, and sacrifice. Grey Flynn has dedicated her life to her mage Kier. She will be his blade on the battlefield, his healer and protector. The deep well of raw power inside her is Kier's to wield. They are bound together by blood and magic, and there is one truth Grey dare not reveal, not even to Kier. And that's as far as I'm going to read for summaries. I have a couple Ali Hazelwoods, so I'm going to start off with Problematic Summer Romance. This is the second book in an interconnected standalone. I did read the first one. This is the one that I was really excited about though, so I do want to get to it. There's age gap, a summer fling, no strings attached situation. I love Ali's writing. It's always very fun and snappy and zappy, and it's always a really great time. And look how floppy it is. I do love that. Fate gave this one to me. I've owned it and I've read it before. It's called Fuck Marriage by Taryn Fisher. I was already opening it up on my Kindle and thinking, I love Taryn's writing style, and it's still so different. I read so much more now than I read back then when I was first finding her books, and her writing still stands up and is really unique, and I just love it. And anyway, I am trying to do what I used to do with writing, read books where I admire the writing style and it gets me into the right way of thinking, and I wanted to pick this one up because I remember loving it. It reminds me of a rom-com movie, but the writing is really incredible. I don't want to say it's a rom-com because it's not. There's more depth to it. If you've followed my channel for a while, you've heard me talk a lot about Taryn Fisher's writing, and this is one of her most fun romances, I would say. I guess Fuck Marriage makes it sound like it's going to be really dark, and it's not actually dark. It's a self-discovery, definitely, and it's not as sad as you may presume about it being about divorce. It's very good. It's a good romance. Don't forget the ice. I love this book. So I found that at Goodwill. That's why Fate brought it to me, like the very day that I was starting to read it on my Kindle. Let It Lavelle by Paulina Simons was kindly sent to me. Thank you for watching. This I loved so much. It is a historical fiction with some romance. It's about two different families, one in America in Boston at the Great Depression during and afterward, as well as a family in Ukraine during the Holodomor, I think is how you say it. It's like the Great Starvation with the Bolsheviks and the Ukrainians, and it was so good. If you're a fan of The Bronze Horseman, she also wrote that, and I think if you liked this, you will love this as well. It's also on Kindle Unlimited if you have that. Quickly going to go through these guys because they're kind of niche and they're not fiction. Save the Cat writes a novel by Jessica Brody and Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. I got this one first because I've heard about it for ages, and I'm always writing, always trying to write, and I thought that this might be a good place for me to help plot a little bit. I'm such a pantser to my own detriment, so I'm trying to be a little bit of a plotter, and I thought that this would help flesh out some of my off-page backstory. And as I was reading this, which it's good, but it's not specific to like the genre that I'm wanting to do, like the beats aren't quite the same, so hence why I picked up this little bitty guy, and I'm hoping that a combination of the two will help me get the beginning things out of the way, because I find that that's the hardest part for me, because I value very much knowing who the characters are, how they work, and in the world, and why they are the way they are, why they haven't done the things that they are wanting to do. And I think that the Save the Cat one is giving me a lot of language for things I didn't have terms for, like the Shard of Glass. And I think it's going to be really useful to me. I've mostly gone through Save the Cats just beginning, but it's good so far. I see why people talk about it. Next I have Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. I don't think this has romance in it, but I've heard that the writing is really great, and it's a very timely book for the way the world is right now. The first world ever admitted to a prestigious order of mages unravels a secret conspiracy that could change the practice of magic forever in this provocative standalone that deftly incorporates elements of science and philosophy into dark academia. Doesn't that sound great? And last but not least, I have read this. It's Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I read this sucker in a day. It is a kind of romantasy. It's a really easily accessible one. Like, just with the knowledge of how pop culture werewolves and vampires are is like kind of enough for you going in to, you could read this one on its own. I do recommend reading Bride first. It's like an interconnected standalone series because I loved Bride so much. That's why I recommend it, but you kind of could go into this blind. You'd be missing out a little bit, but if you really wanted to, you could. is really fun. Werewolves aren't usually my thing, but it worked in this, and I read it super fast, and it's like, I want to say close to 400 pages. Oh, it's like 450 pages. It was really fun read. I definitely recommend. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had a really terrible October, and I didn't want YouTube to completely fall out from beneath me, but I wasn't really sure, and still I'm not 100% sure how I'm like proceeding with it for a couple reasons. Just because of how shitty October was. I was lucky to have a lot of pre-filmed videos, or I would have just not had anything to post. But I'm out of videos now, so I'm starting to make new things, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to show up on YouTube, because things are really different. Like when you take a 2-year hiatus off of something and then you come back and everything's different, like video formats, like full length, aren't pushed in algorithms like I was used to. And now it's all shorts, which I've played around with shorts. I get how they work, but seeing a lot of the audience retention and it just getting like pushed out to more people in short form, but them not being subscribers, I'm like, I don't really know who I'm talking to. It's just different. I'm not like, I guess I'm complaining a little, but it's just different. So I'm trying to find my footing, trying to find out what you guys like to see from me and also what I like to produce and spend time thinking about and writing scripts for, and figuring out if I even want to write scripts or I want to just let myself be a little more long-winded. I don't know if I'm just getting caught up in wanting to hook and be short and concise and snappy and attention-grabbing, which is what I'm sure if you Google how to make any kind of video content online, they will say you need to do that. So it's just it's a different world than it was a couple years ago. And even a couple years ago, it was starting to change. So just trying to find my footing. I know that you guys like book reviews. I've done a couple of them. They've been shorter, but I can do longer ones if you'd like. I do want to mostly stick to recommendation videos or only books that I particularly liked, just because I don't want to spend all my time, well, that's not the whole reason, but part of the reason is I don't want to spend my time on a lot of negative stuff. Like if I didn't like it, move on. But I have always been, and I still kind of am, such a proponent of even negative reviews. Because for the same reason someone hates a book, I will like a book. I can't tell you how many times I go through and they're like, oh, too smutty, don't like it. I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't deter me. I like that. Or, oh, the wording is too flowery, the writing's too flowery. I love that. Call it pretentious, I'm gonna buy it. So coming from a place of how I want to spend my energy and talking more about positive stuff while also still believing that, it's sort of gray for me, as well as being mindful that I do eventually want to publish a book and want to have a lot of, negative content out there either about other books. So it's a weird place. It's a weird place. I'm still going to have honest reviews. I'm still going to tell you what I liked about it. But yeah, I'm trying to find my footing here. As you can see, there's a lot on my mind. But if you watch this all the way to the end, thank you for sticking around. If you can comment, that would be really greatly appreciated. I think that helps with the algorithm pushing it out so that other subscribers can see as well. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.